The thoughts, opinions, and general overall shade thrown on High at 9 News are those of the individual speakers and not those of High at 9 News, its audience, or its advertisers. The statements made do not constitute medical, legal, or financial advice, and for advice tailored to your specific situation, please consult with a licensed professional. Welcome to the High at 9 News Hour, where you will hear from cannabis industry experts and professionals from around the country talk about important topics while shining light on global issues and discussing cannabis as it relates to politics, regulation and reform, data and technology, science, research and medicine, family and parenting, art, celebrities and entertainment, fitness, sports, mental health and wellness, and plant-based medicines and entheogenics. Together, we are building a stronger community, fighting the stigma and creating change. With your hosts, Jason Beck and Rico Lamitte, joined by special industry expert correspondents from around the country, and daily antics brought to you by Cannabis. Coming to you live every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time and high noon on the East Coast. And thank you all for getting high at 9 with us. Yeah. Sorry, Adam. My bad. I guess I did that a little too fast. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you did. It didn't fade. It didn't fade.
Fuck. Sorry, guys. Anyways. Good morning, you guys. It is Tuesday, December 3rd. And today is World Trick Shot Day. You thought I was going to say World Trick Shot, huh, Rico? Are you there, Rico? Is he gone?
He's there.
Oh, well.
Seems he's muted.
It's also, you know what I'm saying? It's also National Roof Over Your Head Day. Shout out to roofs over our heads, you guys. Man.
Not one of those.
Yeah, right? It's also a National Day of Giving. Todd.
Hey, I'm a giver, bro.
We're expecting some things from you, Todd, just so you know. You know what I mean? And thank you all for joining us and getting high at 9 with us. It's also high noon on the East Coast. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe to us on all social media platforms. You can look up above and down below to see exactly where we live on the internet. And we are live every Monday through Friday on YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, Twitter, X, Instagram, Facebook, and on our very own website at www.highat9news.com. So welcome to everyone joining us from any one of those platforms, especially our X audience. Man, X has been popping lately. But we're going to kick it off today with the dope dad himself, Mr. Rico Lamitte. Rico, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Perfect. I was just wondering because you didn't have anything to say during the intro. Usually you always have some type of thing, and you know what I'm saying? It was World Trick Shot Day.
I was talking, Discord wasn't picking it up.
Oh, it was World Trick Shot Day today, Rico. You just thought I was going to say World Trick Day, huh?
Yeah, man. Never been one to discount your ability to buck shots at tricks. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, boy. That's cute, and even cuter.
But also, man, like, no matter how bad the microphone game gets, man, you can always rely on Joe Biden for a pardon at the end of the day.
That's right.
That's cute. Is that an orange jacket you're rocking today, Rico?
It's red. I thought you would have thought it was red.
No,
Jason,
that's bro. That is total orange. That is total orange on my screen.
Optical disability.
Even on the YouTube screen is showing as orange to me.
It's definitely orange.
Yeah. See, thank you, Todd.
Orange, Jason.
Yeah,
this is orange.
You know,
what I had on yesterday was 100% red.
No way. But, orange is the new black, I heard.
No, everything's orange to you. It's okay, Jason. That's what happens when you
aren't you glad?
Following your idols, you know.
Aren't you glad that? Yes, that's right. That's right. It is the dope dad himself, Mr. Rico Lamitte.
Yeah, Jason. Thank you. And in the words of the great Jay-Z, Sean Jay-Z Carter.
Oh boy.
There will be no encores today.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
My story this morning is by Rowan Dunn of Mugglehead Magazine. It's all about the long overdue death of one of the most intriguing celebrity brands of all time, Sean Jay-Z Carter's Monogram. Jay-Z's luxury cannabis line bites the dust 4 years after a flashy debut. Empire State hip-hop icon Jay-Z attempted to create a successful luxury cannabis line 4 years ago, but it has been unable to survive in a highly competitive market. Apparently, it's $50 joints. Weren't they like $80, Jason? When they first came out?
Yeah.
I don't know. They're saying 50. Yeah. Article says $50 joints. So
remember when we were at
at the opening at Josephine and Billy's?
Josephine and Billy's. Yeah. Their grand debut. There was such hope for that brand.
So much hope. Monogram was operated by the parent company before it was acquired by Gold Flora Group Corp last summer. Currently, Gold Flora is in the midst of receivership proceedings and is currently ascending down a, quote, death spiral, as described by Darren Story of Coastal Sun Farm. Sean Carter, known to many others as Jay-Z, served as the parent company's chief visionary officer before the takeover, but his only cannabis leadership role now is at a failing company. They're going in on him. Monogram products cannot be found in stock at any of the California or Arizona dispensaries listed on its website. The parent company once had a cash balance exceeding $500 million, but it managed to blow through all of that and merged into a now deteriorating cannabis operator. In an interview with FSF Gate last week, renowned cannabis investor, Glasshouse Brands strategic advisor Seth Yakatan said that Monogram reviews were generally terrible. My Monogram was supposed to be an ultra premium product, and I don't know anyone who tried it and thought that it was anything more than mid-tier. Oof. Jay's company tried to market the expensive joints as being quote unquote hand rolled, but his celebrity name and this feature were not enough to inspire people to spend half a Benjamin on one reefer cigarette. Dunn goes in constantly on the article, and he goes on to say that Monogram now joins the ranks of companies that relied on having famous founders for their marketing schemes without any substance and strategy needed to be successful. Tough market conditions are a key factor too. Flo Kana, associated with comedian and actress Chelsea Handler, is another recent celebrity marijuana failure. It ceased operations early 2023 due to overwhelming financial issues. I had no idea Chelsea Handler was part of Flo Kana. I thought that was just all their fault from the jump, but okay. Also with Whoopi and Goldberg's medical cannabis company Whoopi and Maya, which shut down in 2020 due to a conflict between Goldberg and co-founder Maya Elizabeth. Like Monogram, this company had an extremely hard time thriving in California's cutthroat market, another key reason for its disappearance. Okay, that's enough of that. So as an admitted Jay-Z stan when it comes to the music, I'll also admit that I did when they first launched. Me, as Jason just said, I thought it was trash. Keep it a buck. It was trash. It's overpriced booth, but it was hype, and like everything else was at the time. A lot of stuff still is now, and it did what it was supposed to do. I think Yakatan was spot on calling Monogram mid at best. But I think that Jay's mission was accomplished by what he was setting out to do: make money, make a big splash, and get the fuck out. He also gave other people of color in the industry a huge lifeline that couldn't be found anywhere else at the time. The parent company came in with the now much maligned SPAC wave, early COVID, where we saw a slew of cannabis companies essentially given a blank check to operate, and this led to a very predictable outcome for most of those. One of my good friends, Whitney Bay, co-founder of Josephine and Billy's here in LA, was one of the beneficiaries of that parent company, Cash. They were doing all they could to raise money to support their vision. Social equity, black, woman owned. You know the deal. Last in line for quote unquote traditional investor cash. TCPO's acquisition not only helped them with the essentials needed to finally launch Jay's garbage gas pre-rolls as a marquee product by default. Got Josephine and Billy in Nebraska. People talking. is needed for that initial marketing push, which is oh so essential for new dispensaries in saturated markets. So am I mad at Jay-Z and Rock Nation for selling overpriced booth packs in the name of marketing? No. Am I mad at Monogram's that Monogram has finally gone for good? Not even a little bit. I think it's just another overhyped brand that came and went in my eyes, and I'm just glad Jay-Z and the parent company were able to bring actual operators, actual OGs in the game along for that ride with them to reinvigorate their brands and their businesses too. So am I looking forward to Jay-Z's return to the cannabis? No. But this is the way that it goes, man. There's capitalism. People buy shit because of sometimes it's because of the people who are selling them, and I'm surprised that they lasted this long. I'm Rico Lamitte, the dopest dad on the street for High at Night News, calling it as it is. I'd like to hear from you guys.
So did the parent co change their corporate name to Illegitimate Parent Co after this?
The Latchkey Co. Absentee parent company.
Yeah, something like that. That would have been good. They should have done something like that. I mean, I'm not necessarily surprised. There wasn't really a big what would you say, link to the legacy of cannabis with this brand. I didn't see a lot of people gravitate towards it. It was just, to me, it kind of looked more like a cash grab. Like, hey, we're going to sell this stuff for overpriced prices, and because it's Jay-Z's name on it, people are going to buy it and they're going to love it, and and that was like their whole marketing plan, it seemed like.
It kept his name in the news.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it kept his name in the news. It brought some good people along with it. Like, I was very happy to see Josephine and Billy's finally get off the ground. Been marching on the ground with Whitney and Ebony, her partner, since 2016, before the market even opened up over here. So to see them finally get some money, and then also blow up her apothecary brand too, which is fantastic, by the way. Like cannabis humidors. And she just was not getting any money from anywhere else. So, so I think it did some good, as opposed to like some of these other cash grab brands. I am very surprised that it lasted this long, and I did not know it was still a thing. I thought it died long ago. So rest in peace, Monogram.
Man,
$50 for a joint is just stupid. I mean, it's just stupid. What were they thinking?
No one wants a Monogram for that price.
Not a chance.
There's $50. No, there's $50 joints out there. It's just it has the brand recognition behind it.
Has the hype.
Monogram tried to
legacy.
Monogram tried to just capitalize on Jay-Z's celebrity, and guess what? No one gives a shit because no one gives a shit. Your product has to actually be good if you're going to try to sell it at the highest price. And look, I mean, it's great, like the marketing and the sales pitch that all these, cannabis consulting groups or professionals out here are saying to these organizations, like they're, in New York City, they're in these, boardrooms and these high-rise buildings, and they're just, regurgitating really what they've heard that they like, and regurgitating what they think that these people want to hear, and they can sell the story. Execution is 100% where everyone fails in this business. If you can't execute, you need to get the hell out the way and let the people that can do, and that's it.
It seems like the duffel bag boys should have focused on backpack boys.
I guess so, man.
The bodega boys.
I see what you
still think a $50 joint. I don't care who's rolling it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, there's some pretty bougie stuff out there right now. Like I have a pre-roll right now sitting on my desk that there's no paper on the outside. It's like a keef wrap, and then it's flour, and then there's a hash hole in the middle. And
there's paper in there, bro. There's paper in between that keef and that and that weed. No. There's a layer of distillate and paper.
No. I'm not trying to do a plug, but this is for that brand that El Rock told you about, and this is not. There is no paper in it. So depending upon the inputs and what's in it, a $50 joint doesn't necessarily mean that it's just a little bit of flour and it's just a cone.
You gotta bring that heat.
Blah blah blah.
You gotta bring the heat with that shit, though, right?
But you got to bring the heat. And as Saman said, industry's high on vision, low on execution. This would be a very different story if the celebrity was attached to something that was quality. Like I think we can all agree that Wiz is doing it different, and so it's not like the death of the celebrity brand is, that model can't work. It's that it has to be unique, and there still has to be value, and it has to be good. So if you're a luxury brand and you're not a luxury product, I think to me that's the story. And if you have a really cool title like Chief Visionary Officer, if you're not smoking your own product and being very, very diligent about making sure that the quality that's coming out is reflective of where you're positioning your own personal brand, that's going to be a problem every single time. I didn't really see him involved in a way that was super visible. And so I agree that Jason, that seems more like a cash grab than a contribution to the industry. But it does on paper make sense. There has been a nexus between music and marijuana for a really long time. I don't think that goes away.
Well, Ben LeBone in the chat. Ben LeBone in the chat, he says a Kevin Sabet brand would do better.
Save it. You got no weed in there. You open that shit up, it's just dust.
Yeah. What were you gonna say? What were you gonna say, Saman?
Dock Walkers called DEA hearings.
I was just gonna say, I wanted to just echo what Yarrow says. I didn't want to poo-poo celebrity brands. Not like that doesn't have some kind of weight in the world and in the game. I mean, we've been stuck with this Hollywood kind of situation for a long time, and we've grown accustomed to it, and we still have a reverence for that. But I mean, from someone who's benefited all around from both celebrity brands and these SPACs that obviously are changing the landscape of how cannabis looks today. I think that there's something to say for just doing something solid. And Jason has seen there's been markets that are eager to accept celebrity brands if it's in the most reasonable price band and it's a quality, consistent product. So again, it's just like there's people that have been doing this for a long time, pretty consistently. The proof is in the pudding. The programs are pretty much entrained and entrenched in these municipalities and in these markets. So you don't need to like reinvent the wheel. You just need to focus on good quality product. There's great cultivators out there, definitely in the great state of California and around the country as I'm seeing. So guess what? Pick and choose wisely, people. Don't just go for fall for the hype marketing. It's usually trash.
Well,
it's got to be good weed. Yeah, it's got to be good weed.
I want to add this real quick there. 100% everything you and Yarrow are saying. The celebrity brands that do make it, those motherfuckers are on the ground, right? You got to be on the ground.
That's right.
You got to be doing the groundwork. Like, this is not just like some other bullshit liquor brand where you just like put some commercials out and it's gonna work. You have to be on the ground because people actually care about what they're smoking. If they're gonna be smoking, if they're gonna be paying a premium for what they're consuming, like in this shit, like why do you think motherfuckers are still getting shit from the trap? Because it's cheaper, right? And you still have high quality shit for cheaper. So I think that was a huge miss. And another thing I did not want to leave out, but I did there. Yeah, Troy Datcher, their CEO, died before the acquisition. There too.
So selfish.
I wonder if that had anything to do. Right? I wonder if any of this has anything to do with the Diddy list that are going to be released. I'm saying I'm dropping it. I'm dropping it.
I made the whole story without even talking about the Diddy list.
Just saying. I'm just saying. I wonder if any of that has to do with it. But also too.
I'm not going. Hey,
Jeremy Grove.
It has nothing to do with it because Jay-Z removed himself from the company before that Gold Flora acquisition.
So you're gonna say, but did he drop it?
Even post mortem now, like Jay-Z's name is still in it, and they're talking about this shit again, and he hasn't even been involved with anything with it since before that Gold Flora acquisition, anyways. But
did he drop it?
It just goes to show.
Just wondering.
It just goes to show that people in America we're attracted to the wrong things.
Well, speaking of attracted to the wrong things, Jeremy Grove says I'd pay $50 for a Mitch McConnell rolled joint. This might be a parody gummy when we launch some THCA, some marijuana Mitch. You know what I mean?
That's that real granddaddy perk.
Where do you think his fingers have been?
Purple hands.
I ain't smelling those fingers, Todd.
No way. I don't want him rolling my fucking joint. No way.
Man.
You are so disgusting. I love you. The other thing also, just to beat this monogram into an asterisk,
Right.
There's an argument to be made that there could have been a different trajectory if the brand had looked at a larger play across a greater number of states, i.e. markets, i.e. Jay-Z has an international following, and to have it only be concentrated in a couple states, one of which, while arguably the largest cannabis economy in the world, has seen substantial volatility and contraction. Would this be a different story if Monogram was in Illinois?
He should have launched his brand in New York. That would have been great.
Exactly.
Jason, a quick history lesson. Do you remember why?
What's that? Why what?
Because him and Puffy were gonna go head to head. Like Jay-Z had California, Arizona, a couple other West Coast states, and then Puffy.
Oh, I'm sure they were gonna go head to head.
I bet.
Columbia, the whole Columbia care. So
that's right.
Like, fuck it, I took the bait. Mm-hmm. It was gonna be some bi-coastal sword crossing shit where Jay-Z with the whole Columbia care. A Diddy with the Columbia care deal that fell through. I know Columbia care is thanking Jesus for that one.
Yeah, they are.
He's going to have Massachusetts, New York, and Illinois, and Jay-Z was going to be going with his shit here on the West Coast. But everything happens as it should. And all
it was more head to butt than it was head to head, though.
Maybe it was a little bit of a docking, if you will.
I'm surprised you guys aren't calling it a white party. And on that, we're going to go to a commercial. We're going to be right back. Should have been better. Was that better this time?
Next.
That was nice.
Sorry. All right.
We have the man who is rumored to be the final position on Donald Trump's 47th presidency cabinet.
Allegedly.
As the official blunt roller.
We got some shit. Wait, just know we got some shit cooking, bro. Just know we got some shit cooking in the pot.
As the official Oval Office blunt roller. Mm-hmm. Donald Trump's weed man in his corner. Every single room that he goes into, he makes sure he leaves with a cloud of smoke so to cover up the smell of his Depends. Coming to the stage is none other than the High 9 News head honcho, known for smoking the best weed in the world, the highest Republican in every room, Jason Beck.
Yes. Good morning, Rico. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday, you guys. Second day of the week, you know what I mean? It's December, you guys. It's cold outside because, baby, it's cold outside. And man, oh man, let me tell you how cold it was out in D.C. yesterday, you guys, because there was a historic marijuana rescheduling hearing opened up, and then it's paused. No, not paused, but paused until mid-January, you guys. That's right.
Pause.
Yeah. No diddy. Historic hearings on marijuana's status under federal law will begin in earnest sometime in mid-January, an administrative law judge for the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration said during a procedural session yesterday on Monday. At that time, hearings will be held Tuesday through Thursday, because that's the real work week in D.C., for as long as it takes, said John Mulrooney II, the DEA's chief administrative law judge. There's still no exact date when Mulrooney might rule on moving marijuana from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3 of the Controlled Substances Act, which would have profound consequences for the $32 billion state-regulated U.S. cannabis industry. That long-awaited date appears to be no earlier than February, when some of the parties designated to participate in the rescheduling process indicated availability to give part of what might be a week's worth of testimony, you guys. Well, I hope they're saying like a week, because then that'd be like 2 weeks, because they're only doing 3 days a week, but whatever, we'll see. In the meantime, more filings in the proceedings are due December 13th, with documents due also on January 3rd. 2 homework dates that Mulrooney set on Monday. And focus includes the judge's pigeonholes, you guys. That's right. There's a lot of pigeonholes in this whole thing. And as expected, Mulrooney heard no evidence or testimony from the select few designated participants during 2 hours of proceedings yesterday. Nor has Mulrooney absorbed any of the copious information presented to him in pre-hearing filings, he said. Instead, during his opening remarks and in dialogue with attorneys representing the parties, Mulrooney seemed concerned with narrowing what evidence and testimony he will hear, in part so that a decision can be reached as swiftly as is reasonable. In a quote, "Remember, everybody, this is not a trial whether marijuana is good or bad," he said at one point. "I don't know if it's good. My issues are much more narrower than that," he says. In an additional quote, he says, "It has to do with addiction potential and several other little pigeonholes that I have." I wonder what he's feeding the pigeons. While setting ground rules, Mulrooney's focus on Monday was determining availability from the 19 designated participant witnesses, and in some cases questioning whether the witnesses qualified as experts. The rescheduled hearing process, Mulrooney established Monday that each of the designated participants will be allowed 90 minutes for testimony from a witness they select. Opposing parties can cross-examine that testimony for up to 20 minutes, and parties consolidating their arguments with another designated participant is also allowed, including some of the pro-marijuana blocs denied full standing in the proceedings, and those permitted independent participation can have up to 120 minutes for 2 witnesses. It likely will not be until after February of 2025 when Mulrooney concludes hours of testimony and an untold cachet of evidence. No books. Experts only, they say. The cachet, though, Mulrooney stressed on Monday, must be as brief as possible, you guys. That's right, keep it to the talking points. And some witnesses appeared keen to send Mulrooney as much information as possible, including books they'd written. I wonder if they were signed. In a quote, "Here's a spoiler alert," he said. "I'm not going to be reading anybody's book," he said. "I don't have the lifespan to read mountains of evidence, and I want the evidence that's important. Witnesses also must demonstrate in testimony or a written brief why they qualify as an expert." Well, I mean, this whole trial sounds more to me like the whole New York trial against Trump and whatnot, because it sounds like the decisions have already been made before the trial even starts. But nonetheless, I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about all of this.
The fact that nobody's taking the bait on that Trump shit, Jason. This is apples. The
fact that they say it's not about whether pot is good or bad. Sure, it is. And if they're worried about addiction,
I watched that part. I watched him say it. I watched the judge say it.
If they're worried about addiction, why aren't they worried about
He said his whole focus is to decide if whether or not marijuana is more dangerous than fentanyl.
It's just a dumb comment.
Wow, that's dumb as shit.
I mean, if he's getting information that marijuana comes prepackaged sometimes with fentanyl, from cops that's never really rebuffed. That information is out there.
I'm wondering who these guys are that are spreading this fake news.
We know who some of those people are, Saman. I know a bunch of them.
You know exactly.
I know a bunch of them. Yeah, this smells like Kevin Sabet. Yeah,
it's a rhetorical question.
Shout out to Brian Dombrowski out there with a big old super chat who says,
"Big shout
Parody
out, Brian.
Gummy, Texas." That's right, Parody Gummy is coming to Texas.
Right.
We are very, very, very excited about that.
In there.
Yes.
Coming to a gas station near you.
Glen in Maynard, Texas.
We love gas stations in
Delta
Texas.
Bros. Big shout out, Delta Bros.
That's right.
Big shout out all the cannabis dispensaries dispensing THCA or medical or adult use cannabis around the country. You're doing the Lord's work. We love you.
Yes, I really think that we need to do a marijuana Mitch pre-roll now, though, Simone.
I think Marijuana Mitch is secretly smoking
slow rolls.
Mm-hmm.
How about that? How about you call it slow your rolls?
He's the only one smoking Monogram pre-rolls.
That's right.
He's the only one
who can afford it.
We call him Midzy Mitch. I don't know.
Marijuana Mitch, man. Gotta love some Marijuana Mitch, you guys.
Well, you know that what's going on. I mean, look, this is just, it's out of hand. It's out of hand, people. Mm-hmm. What's going on? We just need to go on an eradication mission of eradicating mids from America. That's the problem.
Man. This is going exactly how it's supposed to, exactly how it was designed to go, and.
Did anyone really think that they were going to get anything different out of this DEA hearing? Like I wasn't expecting anything less than what we're seeing.
The DEA hearing is the safe banking of 2024. It is nothing but blue balls and bullshit. This is a hype vehicle for the what ifs, and the cheerleaders in this industry get little goosebumps and all excited. It ain't nothing. It's nothing. Nothing plus nothing equals nothing. And I don't understand, other than like somebody who's got massive stock in canopy growth, why anybody gets excited when they hear these press releases about nothing. And so it's time for this industry to be far more jaded and cynical. I mean, every time there's an election, it's like, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? Nobody's done it. I mean, why would we be so high on our own? Well, why would we be so high on our own supply that we would think that any of this actual progress is going to fly?
Mm-hmm. Well, because one day it was, and maybe people are getting so high off their THCA that maybe they are flying in real life, Yarrow.
I mean, look, I think the DEA thing, hopefully, I would love to be wrong, but they're just going to kick the can down the road. I mean, isn't that really politics at its core? Yeah. Is to do listening tours and town hall meetings.
It's not necessarily to kick the can, it's to move the goalposts. It's to move the goalposts is more the name of the game in politics.
Chuck, that's my favorite one. Chuck,
you know what? Here's the thing. Mm-hmm. We got a new administration come in.
Trump it's going to be so great.
And Trump brought in all of his homeboys.
Oh, it's going to be so good. So good, you guys.
All right. And so look, man. Like I'm not viewing this as a negative in any form or fashion. I think it's hilarious to hear a lot of liberals. Mm-hmm. And,
it's the best. I love the liberals.
Jason knows the liberals.
I love the liberals, bro. I love the liberals.
How I feel, and I'm just let y'all know some real shit right now, man. All the liberals like up in arms about what Trump's gonna do, like dismantle this shit. The system's been fucking broken.
Dismantle it.
It's been fucking broken. And guess what? If I won the presidency against all fucking odds like Donald Trump did, like, should he be in office? No. Should he be in this? Like,
he totally should be. He won.
You can say all of that, but he's
a 3-time champ.
And guess what? I'd bring all my homeboys and homegirls with me too. Mm-hmm. Guess what? You're getting exactly what you voted for, and this is what America voted for. Yeah, if he's gonna go in there and wreck shop and tear these motherfuckers, you know what? It's going to happen, and I'm just gonna reserve judgment until that happens. Let them fail.
They're all very rapey, though.
Jason, you said that he's a 3-time president.
I said he's a 3-time champ. I said 3-time champ.
Qualified people like in office for so long and they don't get a goddamn thing done. Mm-hmm. So if Trump does not get it done, guess what? Is there hope for any of this shit? I don't know. But
do you really think anything is going to change with him in office?
Oh yeah, a whole bunch is going to change. 100%.
There's going to be opportunity for every.
Women are less safe because they're all very rapey.
Todd, you may get your hair back during this administration.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And look, there may or may not be change. It may or may not be positive. But let's be clear. All this DEA stuff is nothing but headlines. This is just blah, blah, blah.
It's to get the people talking. This is Monogram. This is Monogram. I can
sail my sailboat to all the hot air that's coming out of this headline, but it ain't going anywhere.
I love me some hot air.
It's all style, no substance. Open that motherfucker up. Gut it and see what's inside of it. And if there ain't nothing gonna happen.
Speaking of hot air, we're gonna roll right on over to Mr. Todd Denkin. He's the man from Las Vegas, where it's always hot outside, except for baby when it's cold outside. He's the founder of Digipath Labs.
twice.
Yes, that's right. And of the Smuggleverse, where you can buy all of your digital dank and all the stuff that you actually can't smoke or actually get caught with because it's in your digital wallet. That's right. It is the voice himself, Mr. Todd Denkin.
Everybody, and happy Tuesday. On the theme of celebrity cannabis brands, as we all know, it is Weed Week here in Las Vegas, and everybody's coming out to Vegas to celebrate. And some big stars like Ricky Williams is going to be there, and actually, cannabis has helped both Greta Gaines and Ricky Williams find meaning after sports. That's right. After abruptly ending their successful sports career, both Greta Gaines and Ricky Williams found new callings through marijuana reform and activism before launching their own cannabis brands. Gaines, for those of you who don't know, is the first woman world champion snowboarder, national authority on cannabinoid law, and a longtime advocate for consumer and patient cannabis access as a national organization reform marijuana law, better known as NORML. She's been a director and a caregiver and an entrepreneur. Now, Gaines is turning her passion toward treating terminal patients with plant-based medicines. She said, "Cannabis is the cornerstone of my practice." And she started a clinical herbalist, and she's the CEO of Love and Hemp skincare brand. She said, "I really shifted my focus to patients out of time and learning everything I could about the makeup of the plant and everything about the plant that makes it healing," he told MJ Biz Daily. In some ways, Williams followed a similar path. Heisman Trophy-winning college football player, Williams launched the Heisman Cannabis Lifestyle brand back in 2021, 9 years after he retired for a second time from the NFL. During Williams' first retirement after testing positive for marijuana, he took a year-long exodus from football, began practicing yoga and studying astrology, as well as the healing properties of cannabis. Athletes' activism led him to lobby on Capitol Hill in April in an effort to loosen federal restrictions on marijuana as a Biden administration decree rescheduled the drug eventually moved to yesterday's hearing. A lot of my advocacy work has really been toward pushing for federal legalization, Williams said. Even deeper than that, my personal journey with cannabis has really helped me live a more meaningful life. Williams and Gaines will join former professional basketball player Al Harrington, founder of Viola Brands, and former NFL lineman Eugene Monroe, co-founder of New Jersey-based vertically integrated cannabis company Collective 60, as headline speakers at MJ BizCon starting tomorrow at the Las Vegas Convention Center. The panel will showcase how athletes are changing the game by highlighting benefits of the plant for wellness and recovery, as well as opportunities for licensing and sponsorships as professional sports leagues initiate a more cannabis-friendly policies. Gaines, a pioneer in extreme sports and outdoor competitions, said she would rip bong hits before helicoptering to alpine cliffs during her early training days. Remote drop-off zones are often as dangerous as the descent down the side of the mountain. After retiring from snowboarding, just a year after winning a world championship at age 25, he realized self-medicating with cannabis helped her dispel fears on the mountain and keep her in the zone. "You really can't, in the moment, think about your fear," said Gaines, who was among the first athletes anywhere to openly discuss mental health issues, anxiety, and the benefits of marijuana in extreme sports. "I needed something that could help me forget what could happen," he said. For Williams, marijuana has been a tool for meditation and self-awareness. Former running back who led the NFL in rushing and was third in touchdowns in 2002, Williams will bring those worlds together at MJ BizCon, where he'll lead a morning yoga session, 9 a.m. on December 5th at the Hub on the Las Vegas Convention Center floor. He said, "Yoga is a great practice of physical self-awareness, being aware of your body and how your body feels," he said. "We're all kind of limited by the types of experiences we allow ourselves to have while consuming. That's why I'm a real big fan of creating experiences for people." In his highly publicized journey with cannabis, which included multiple suspensions for failing marijuana tests during his 11-year NFL career, Williams has touted the plant's benefits for his own mental and spiritual well-being and how it helped him find a meaning beyond his football career. "The amount of people I'm able to connect to has made all the ups and downs definitely worth it," he said. "To the point where I can barely play catch with my son. but touching people through telling my story and what I'm doing with a brand, that's something I'll be able to do for the rest of my life, he added. Gaines, a multifaceted performer, is set to release her 8th studio album next year. Former TV host on the Oxygen Network and ESPN Outdoor Show, sold her first skincare company, The Hempery, in 2014, before finding a new sport to dive into, professional fly fishing. Sport allows her to travel and compete with her father, Charles Gaines, author of Pumping Iron, a chronicle of bodybuilding subculture in the 1970s, and its influencers such as Arnold Schwarzenegger. The outdoorsman also is credited with inventing paintball, one of the several fascinating stories from the Gaines family history. Greta Gaines credits cannabis for harmonizing a zen-like experience on the water. He said, it just helps me in the moment and slows my breathing down to get one with nature, river, the sky, and the clouds. It makes me more able to think like a fish. To perform yoga with Ricky Williams and to hear him and Greta Gaines discuss marijuana with other sports and all the All-Stars that will be at MJ BizCon. It starts tomorrow right here in Las Vegas. I'm Todd Denkin with High at 9 News with another cannabis feel-good story. Who is coming to MJ BizCon this week to see all of these celebrities talk about cannabis? I'll be there. Who else is coming?
I mean, it depends on my car. Bring it in.
I'm not going this year.
Unsavory light pop up on my dash.
It's called the check engine light.
Driving out. Yeah, I was going to be driving out this afternoon, but we shall see.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm gonna be planted right here. Posted.
I'm so mad, Jason.
I'm not
so mad at MJ BizCon.
I'm not mad at MJ BizCon at all, to tell you the truth.
All right.
I just, in all reality, it's a big expense for not, I feel, as big of a return.
It depends. If you're going out there, man, gotta have a razor sharp focus.
Yeah.
Get in and get the fuck out.
Plus, too, I know myself in Vegas. And man,
you in Vegas too.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And I've been on like such a good health kick and whatnot. Like I'm just gonna totally fuck myself up. Have all kinds of bad habits occur while I would be there. And it's just
Vegas has that way of doing that to people.
Yeah,
take you off track on that.
It's for the people who are going out there, whether I'm out there or not. Big ups to Ricky Williams, like on all that he has done. Like Ricky did the work. Ricky did the groundwork. Ricky was in there, like back with a real.
It's more, it's more than that.
Here's my question, though.
Hold on. Let me finish first. Yeah. He did the work. I remember with Real Wellness, he was actually doing PADs, and it actually helped him with some PADs, like back in the day, back in like 2017. He's on the ground doing that. Linnea, his wife, she does a lot of stuff like behind the scenes before they even relaunched Heisman. He's part of the community. He actually gave up his career in the NFL because of his love for the plant. He has sacrificed way more than a lot of these other celebrities have done. And what he is doing, I just want a quick plug here, what he is doing currently with Jim McMahon, Chicago legend, Super Bowl and Bears. Out there is incredible with for Project Champion. If you guys get a chance, check out projectchampion.org. And they're actually raising money on the awareness to get this political football kicked in the right direction. And it's a bipartisan effort by former athletes who are huge champions of the game, the weed game, and destigmatizing it on another level. And athletes and veterans is something that America loves. Doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. And those are the two avenues that I believe personally can get the needle moved in the right direction, especially now that we have Republicans at the helm.
Look at that.
They support veterans. They support sports.
Shout out to Republicans.
And,
big shout.
Like we need more bigger, brighter spotlights on initiatives like this. So big ups to Ricky Williams. Everything that brother does, I've been a fan of.
Go ahead, Yarrow. Go ahead, Yarrow.
Yeah, me too.
I was like the longest I've ever been patient, but I appreciated everything Rico had to say, and he did touch on what I was going to say, which is that unlike many other celebrities, artists, musicians, sports stars, athletes, et cetera, Ricky Williams paid a significant price in his career for his commitment to being a cannabis user.
Yep.
And that price is completely different than anybody else who has a celebrity profile who's in the space. And, maybe he didn't go to jail. Maybe he's not a candidate for being the poster child for Last Prisoner Project. Maybe I'm still a little resentful that he hasn't accepted my friend request on LinkedIn for the last 3 or 4 years.
Probably.
But he is, I got issues and Jenny let me off the shelf today. But the thing is that he was early to understanding things that now seem a bit more common, like the fact that cannabis can be great for human beings to create homeostasis and as a rehabilitation and a grounding and a sort of being able to sort of take care of oneself, and having cannabis be a part of that it's not the addiction model, it's the self-care model. And he's way ahead on those things. And so normally I don't get very starstruck when we see people who have had oversized success in other places come into cannabis. But Ricky Williams is very, very different, and his track record speaks for itself, I think.
Well,
I interviewed Ricky several years ago, and not only is he really, really smart, but he's really studied the plant, and he has studied alternative medicine. And he was saying that, look, when he was playing, the reason he got suspended was, when he would, for 2 years, carry the ball 740 times. And he said, when you get tackled by those fucking guys, it hurts.
Yeah. And
cannabis was the only thing that got him through those seasons of carrying the ball so many times.
I believe
and,
it.
Then when he got suspended and when he retired, he owed the Miami Dolphins $7 million because he broke the morals clause on his contract. So he went to rehab like they insisted and went back to playing football and kept the $7 million.
So here's my thing. Oh, go ahead, Saman. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm actually like some of the people that I'm with currently I'm in Minnesota. It's some collegiate athletes and this good friend of mine, and one of the major topics is just educating, obviously, not only the players but also the staffs on cannabis. And the consensus and the general kind of rule of thumb is literally every one of these collegiate athletes is smoking. It's just that if you're not doing what you need to do as an athlete, you're not keeping up with your academics, or you're not going to practice, or you're not doing the mandatory the circuit lifting or whatever, they're gonna focus on you. And so it's an unsaid thing. It's kind of a sad situation because they need a little more direction. They need a little more support and education in that sense. And it's not that it's a very uncommon story. It's that it's more common. And the fact is that everyone has to be silent because they're at risk of, like Todd said and alluded to, is like breaking a contract. A contractual obligation they have that's going to cost them a lot of money. So it's a little ridiculous that we're here. But as we've seen, the NHL, the NBA has also kind of said we're not going to test for this anymore. So just go ahead, because it's not worth it to keep embattling these athletes over a plant. It's stupid. Let them go perform. Let them go be the best they can be. And if they're smoking a little weed, they're really not hurting anybody doing it.
Well, especially if they're in a legal state, right? Well, they should be able to do whatever they want to do. They're just like regular citizens.
I'm confused. I'm confused a little bit, Todd, because you said that Ricky Williams, he's going to be teaching yoga class at 9 a.m.
Yep.
and MJ Biz doesn't open until 10 a.m. So he's just going to be doing a class for just the people that are just working the booths.
If you know
in
Ricky,
MJ Biz.
that's not out of the realm.
That's not out of the realm for Ricky. That's right. That's right. He'll walk around, shake everybody's hand, introduce himself.
I understand that, but like we're saying, hey, if you're attending MJ Biz, you can go and check out Ricky Williams' yoga class, but like they're not going to be able to get in at 9 a.m. to even go and attend his yoga class. That's kind of messed up.
That worked out logistically.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Maybe they have a special entrance for the yoga.
Find a way. Find a way.
Well, we're going to go to a commercial, and we're going to be right back. I just ordered the summertime strawberry salad when added steak on top here at Anna's. Make sure you do the same thing too next time you're in downtown Long Beach. Come on down and check out Anna's joint on the 400 block of Pine Street. They have amazing selection of beers, foods, and when you come down here to Anna's, you can even challenge me to a game of shuffleboard if you want to lose. Did you get that? So, next time you're in downtown Long Beach on Pine Avenue, make sure you stop by Anna's Joint on the 400 block. Not only do they have Anna's Joint, this restaurant and bar, but they also have the amazing deli next door, and then next door to that, they have a very exotic flower shop. You may want to stop by and say hi. All right, stop whatever you're doing. Make sure you smash that like button. I know we'll appreciate it. You'll appreciate it, and YouTube will appreciate it. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And all of the articles that we cover on today's show, you can read directly on our website at www.high9news.com. And if you are going to MJ Biz, make sure you go and check out my guy, Mr. Mario Sherbinski, with his new brand, Voice of the Plant. He is going to have a whole little area over there. All the breeders are going to be there, and it is going to be the first time that they are selling seeds live on the floor at MJ Biz. So make sure you go and check it out and tell them that we sent you. Are you all ready for America's new #1 D9 gummy line? That's right. We are bringing to you Parody Gummy. These vegan gummies are manufactured in a safe harbor facility, so you know they're going to be clean and safe, and they're not going to give you any of the runaround. Coming in, we have 3 amazing flavors for you. We have the Raspberry Riots. Also, we have the Sleepy Joes if you need something to help you sleep at night. And if you're feeling like raging and having a party time, that's right, we have the Pineapple Bad Hombre. If you're feeling like a bad hombre, make sure you head over to www.parodygummy.com and secure your bag today. Yes, and Jenny, we're back, Jenny. Enough disturbances.
Yeah. She ain't even been here.
I know, exactly. All of a sudden,
don't
jeez, Jenny.
I like the passion.
It's so controversial.
God.
You're right. Reporting live out of the
talk about our Lord and Savior Parody Gummy.
Come on now. Hey. Up next, reporting live out of the base of an old oak tree in Sebastopol, California. This fellow dope is the second generation cultivator and founder of Special Teams Consulting, and here to piss off at least one person today is none other than Yarrow Kubrin.
There we go. You thought I was holding out on you, huh, Yarrow?
Oh man, that can of applause feels so good. So
Would
good.
you rather have a can of pause?
Whoa.
Man.
No Diddy.
All day.
You guys are insane.
Yeah, we are. We are. So, good morning, High at 9 News viewers. This is Yarrow Kubrin, Tuesday, December 3rd, rounding out 9:45 a.m.-ish. And my article today goes back to a vein I've been covering here for a minute.
The main vein?
Hemp. Jenny, I will not bite, and I hope you don't either.
Oh, man.
But anyway, without further ado, this is about the USDA. So, USDA adjusts hemp insurance provisions by modifying crop rotation rules and barring coverage for smoke damage. As the nation's hemp industry continues to mature, the U.S. Department of Agriculture is making what it calls improvements to a federal hemp crop insurance program. The changes, which take effect next year, ease certain crop rotation requirements and remove smoke damage as a cause of covered loss. The revisions to crop rotation rules announced recently by USDA's Risk Management Agency, or RMA, will effectively allow hemp to be insurable if planted following soybeans, the agency said. It applies in 11 states: Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Maine, Michigan, Minnesota, Montana, Nevada, New York, North Dakota, Oregon, Pennsylvania, South Dakota, and Wisconsin. The policy will change will give producers more options when it comes to their crop rotation. Brian Frieden, director of RAM's regional office for Illinois, Indiana, and Michigan, said in a statement about the changes, adding that RMA is continuing to work with hemp producers to improve coverage options. The regional announcements note that the sales closing dates for the revised insurance policies vary from county and that the producers should contract their crop insurance agent to determine local deadlines. As for smoke damage, the rules change adds smoke to a list of reasons the program will not cover losses. Boo. Fire, however, remains a covered cause of loss, as does volcanic eruptions, because, we've got so many volcanoes going off in this country. Other causes of loss that aren't covered by the program include THC levels that exceed the federal 0.3% limit on hemp, as well as harvest production that's infested with mold, yeast, or fungus. The regional Midwest announcement said that the change that RMA is clarifying that smoke damage is not covered cause of loss, as hemp coverage does not allow for quality adjustments. Research has found that smoke damage can cause significant economic losses to the cannabis industry, though there's been less study around smoke and hemp specifically. Nationwide, hemp operators insured $750,000 in covered liabilities on 2,600 acres of production in crop year 2024. That's pretty low, according to the USDA's regional office's new announcement. The new RMA changes apply to USDA's Hemp Crop Insurance Standards Handbook and Hemp Loss Adjustment Standards Handbook for next year and years after. USDA has been working to bolster the hemp industry, including by appointing a number of industry stakeholders this summer to a federal trade advisory committee meant to support efforts to promote U.S.-grown hemp around the world. Meanwhile, the department recently announced that it is delaying enforcement of a rule requiring hemp growers to test their crops exclusively at labs registered with the Drug Enforcement Agency, citing setbacks at the agency that have led to inadequate access to such facilities. Yeah, what could have gone wrong with that plan? This is the third year in a row that the USDA has delayed enforcement of the lab testing policy for hemp required under the 2018 Farm Bill that federally legalized the crop. Lastly, in August, USDA advised stakeholders of a policy change in China to impose tighter regulations on hemp-derived CBD, though it said the new rules were expected to benefit the industry. That's a pretty vague statement. 2 years after hemp and its derivatives were federally legalized by the U.S. under the 2018 Farm Bill, China agreed to a trade deal that required it to buy significantly more of the non-intoxicating cannabis crop from U.S. sources. That agreement expired in 2022, however. This article goes on and on and on, but in the interest of time, I will wrap it up. I'd like to hear what my other guests and pundits have to say about this article today.
All hemp should be tested at DigiPath Labs in both Las Vegas and Phoenix areas.
And coming to Minnesota soon.
Yes, there you go.
And coming to sponsor the High at 9 News, son.
Oh, that part.
Listen, nobody's ever complained about Traeger terps on hemp, so, I don't think that, it's going to change the fiber of your hempcrete if your house smells a little smoky.
Yes, but there are a significant hemp interests that grow hemp just for the terpenes, for example. Mm-hmm. And if you were adjacent to a fire but not burnt,
then you could sell them as smoked terps, bro. That's a whole new flavor profile. Smoked terps, bro.
Yeah. The smell of burning buildings and and all, what's that terrible stuff in pressure treated wood? That's pretty toxic smoke, right? So it's not just the smoke, it's also the particulate. So we've been affected by the forest fires in Northern California more than we care to remember. And the particulate that comes off those fires is so small, it's not healthy to be in a combustible, ingested product. And so their exclusion of smoke damage, given that it's already been validated in cannabis, I think is a step backwards.
I totally agree with that.
Coming to you in a new flavor.
Smoked flavored.
That's the beauty.
That should be the Hunter Biden flavor,
it's all
smoked.
about flexibility, baby.
Saman, what do you think about that? The Hunter Biden flavor, smoked gummies.
Well, pardon my interjection.
It's really Joseph Biden's goose that's cooked on that one, because it just looks ridiculous. Look,
disgusting.
I don't want to like rehash a bunch of shit here, but
you could dry sift it.
Yes.
You love hashing.
Yeah, you love hashing things out.
It's all hash, guys. It's all hash. But let me tell you that I've never been so disgusted by these hypocrites as I am today.
Yes, you have.
But guess what? No. It's true. It's true. I have. But I just want to act like this is egregious, more egregious than everything else. It's just ridiculous. But it's all politicians. Let's not take sides here. We're not pulling punches. Everybody that gets into power is going to look after their own. And look, some people deserve it. Some people definitely don't. We won't name names, but I think you guys can tell who I'm talking about.
Boy.
But let's just I'm again going to just take the position of the Chinese farmer, and we shall see, my friends.
We shall see, but I think that was a very long statement to put out for someone who can barely eat his Cheerios in the morning.
I don't eat Cheerios. I don't eat cereal.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about Biden.
Oh, there's her thing again. There's Jenny.
Shit.
That was Jenny's alarm clock.
Guys,
her smoke alarm's going off. Yeah, exactly.
Willie beaming.
She was cooking, and all of a sudden the things went off.
I wasn't talking about you. I was referring to the long statement that the good old Sleepy Joe put out during nap time about why he pardoned his son. I told y'all.
I think
Jenny, you're going to have to just hold up a written sign with whatever you want to say so we don't hear your fire alarm. Like I was talking about, Saman likes to break my stones a little bit when I veer into this conversation around women's right to have reproductive choices between them and their daughter.
Oh boy, here we go.
I am not the guy to pull that on, bro.
But you said, dude, this is not an abortion show. This is a weed show.
Clearly can't pull out either.
Yeah.
No, listen. I know
Saman has his babies.
He's got cute kids. But let me
He's got another one on the way. It's
because
popping out soon.
This is coming to a theater near you. But this is, even though this is a cannabis show, I do think the pardon deserves mention because we cover politics and policy. And what this pardon demonstrates to me is that Joe Biden lied to the American public on purpose for the sole purpose of getting more votes, knowing darn well that when he did it, it was a blatant, overt, obvious, and intentional lie.
Right, no politicians do that.
And and you just stole my lines, TD, because what I was going to say is that what that tells the American public is that he's deeply qualified to be a politician.
That's right.
I'd say he's very
what it tells
unqualified.
The American public is that Dr. Jill Biden's hand is so far up his ass that somehow she can also write with his hands.
So are you saying? Are you saying that that Joe Biden is a giblet?
That's what you pulled out of that turkey's ass.
That's what I'm saying. I had to go all the way up in there.
I made Jason stick his arm in the turkey, y'all. He was elbow deep in a turkey's
I had to go all the way to the whole other end of the turkey.
I bet that turkey keeps calling you, for a second date.
Jason, you did eat a turkey? Come on, bro.
Yeah, I had some turkey, bro.
Saman,
elbow deep in the turkey's
ass. You should
Come
have seen his fucking face when I told him to stick it. I was like, "We're gonna prepare the turkey. Now stick your hand in its ass." He goes, "No, the fuck."
Why?
I'm like,
why have we not seen
Thank you for your efforts. Thank you for your efforts of domesticating Jason over there.
Now him and the turkey are dating.
It's on video, and Jason won't. Jason, you've shared so many holiday videos on the show. I feel like we'd be remiss if we didn't share this one at least on our Instagram or something.
We'll get around to it, Jenny. Just relax. Just because it didn't happen today or yesterday or whatnot doesn't mean that it's not going to get shared. Just hold your horses.
It should have been queued up.
Round two.
That's not how it works, Jenny.
You were in that turkey like this.
That's cute. I'm gonna let you just keep on telling people all about it.
Separate from bestiality, I do think the pardon is worth mention on this show because we do talk about politics and we don't agree about politics, but I think we can all agree that whether you vote left or right, red or blue, purple, whether you're a liberal, libertarian, or just a far right religious zealot, whatever your affiliation is or isn't, I think we could all agree that this pardon was a case study of saying one thing, doing another, by a career politician who knew that they were lying when they lied. And it,
I think Todd thinks he just changed his mind.
Listen, it's called parenting. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 parents sitting on the stage right now. Would you get your son out of some shit? Raise your hand, yes or no?
I mean, but that's the whole thing. I think everybody in America knew that was it was inevitable.
Right. So me saying I'm not gonna fucking have my son's back.
Yeah, everybody knew he was lying when he said that. Everybody knew he was lying when he said it.
Right. And here we are in politics again. And to be fair, it was a butterball turkey, so it was probably pre-fucked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shout out to Jesse Barney, who says, "Too bad everybody's daddy can't be president." Well, you know. Mm-hmm.
Hey, my dad'll kick your ass.
Yeah, I bet.
My dad'll kick your dad's ass.
I bet. And on that, we're going to roll into a commercial, and we're going to be right back.
Are you a business that's suffering from the hyperinflation that is plaguing America today? We have the solution for you. That's right, Patriot Business Financing. Head on over to www.patriotbfc.com and apply for a loan up to $2 million. Any state, any industry, even the cannabis industry, the CBD industry, as well as the industrial hemp fiber industry. Secure up to $2 million today, and make sure that when you apply, you tell Paul you said hi from High at 9.
The two finger snaps.
And we're back. We're back. Jenny.
Oh, no, the Beshkan? I can't Beshkan, no.
You can't Beshkan?
Jenny, we're back.
I know we are. We're talking about Beshkan. I'm getting ready to introduce my good Persian brother, Saman.
Mm-hmm.
So this young man has been a formulary expert in the cannabis space for a very long time, coming from Colorado originally. Oh, smoking out of the lamp so the genie can go back in the lamp.
He's the terp genie.
And the click commander, the formulary expert, the mind behind
Click commander?
Oh my God! Oh my goodness! Please don't make this
Is that
live.
confirmed?
Oh,
Confirmed?
Helping women say hello again and failing at pulling out once more. Mr. Saman Razani.
in the same sentence.
Wow.
In the same sentence.
The click commander.
The click commander.
Yeah.
I bow down to you, sir.
Hello.
Don't bow down
Jenny.
too far. He's a little musty and crusty.
I hear you.
Oh my goodness.
Champion of the Kuche, Saman Razani.
Ooh, Z stands for Xerxes. Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
I see what you did there.
I'm waiting on you to
So-
show up with a nose ring.
Please don't.
Oh man,
Spear
well,
cells
that
for it,
was.
Jenny.
I don't even know if the story even matters anymore, guys. I'm signing off. Saman Razani. No, I'm kidding. Good Lord, Jenny.
Steve
Thank you
says he
for-
salutes you, Saman, just so you know.
I salute you back, Steve. Much respect. Thank you for making a brown man blush on camera, Jenny. Appreciate you. All
I told
right.
you I was on bullshit.
All right. Well, today's story, other than the story Jenny just told, we got a ABC from Omaha, Nebraska story about the final initiative and push in good old Nebraska. Many questions left to be answered in Nebraska's medical marijuana rollout. Omaha, Nebraska. The 2024 election is final in Nebraska. All ballot initiatives were certified on Monday. That means that barring a successful lawsuit appeal in the courts, Nebraska will have a medical marijuana law, everybody.
Mazel tov.
But the specifics are still very much an open question. Even if a doctor were to prescribe it, when the law goes into effect soon, there won't be anyone to fulfill it, or so they think. The law sets the deadline for the rollout by July 1st. Reasonable rules must be adopted, and by October 1, begin granting applications to fulfill medical marijuana prescriptions. The law creates a board and a Nebraska Medical Marijuana Commission. The first members of the board are the 3 members of the Liquor Control Board. Then the governor can appoint up to 2 more. The commission will need a staff. The Nebraska Liquor Control Commission director told KETV it might make the most sense for this agency to take control rather than creating a new staff. But he doesn't know yet if that will be what the legislator will choose to do. It's a short story with massive implications. So what do you guys have to say, and what do you guys think about the Liquor Control Board in Nebraska taking over the medical marijuana distribution and rulemaking for cannabis? Very interesting. What do you guys have to say?
Well, that worked great in Washington, Saman.
Yeah, I mean, look, I guess it makes sense from a practical, I guess, standpoint from staffing. But I mean, is staffing the issue? No, it's who's making the rules and how easy is it to do it. And obviously, the deeply rooted alcohol industry and connections and ties there are probably going to preclude a lot of qualified people.
Well, here I come with my bullshit, but we've been screaming regulate cannabis like alcohol, right?
I haven't been saying that ever.
I have never said that either.
I haven't said it either, but how many times have you heard the industry argue to regulate cannabis?
There's
like alcohol?
tons of advocates that claim that shit that don't even understand what they're saying.
Well, I guess Nebraska heard them.
Mm-hmm. Alcohol is one of the biggest anti-cannabis organizations on the planet. It's to law enforcement, right? Mm-hmm. So they don't want to regulate. They don't want to engage. I don't know why any of these new states that come on board do not employ cannabis experts to help make the rules.
Well, that's because they're all at the DEA hearing. That's because they're all at the DEA hearing, Todd.
That's right. That's right. Because they won't read a book, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't want to read any of that evidence.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so unbelievably stupid how, everyone's just got to look at New York and the debacle that happened there, right? And fact that they don't employ, cannabis executives, cannabis people who work every single day and have been working every single day in this industry, who know what's wrong, who know what's right, and fight the good fight every day. It just doesn't make any sense.
Well,
them to think they know what's going on and they know how to run a cannabis industry just because they've run an alcohol industry. They're two completely different animals. Completely.
And Todd, that's to say that they're not there already.
Yeah.
And I hear you, Todd. And I don't think that it's not even that they don't, because I've consulted with quite a few municipal governments, the county of LA, the state of Hawaii. They've talked to people who've operated these businesses, and they, for some reason, decide to be willfully ignorant, just like Joe when he pardoned Hunter.
No. So look, I think that we're not having enough granularity in this dialogue for a second. There are massive benefits of looking at the adult bev business model and regulatory paradigm.
Here we go.
Are completely transferable over to regulated cannabis.
Is that because better cannabis is sold in jars?
From distribution, there's some real benefits. And there are some places where this transferring of a model completely falls apart, especially because cannabis is not just a shelf-stable product. And it has far less processes, for at least for flour, that go into getting it to market than, say, fermenting yeast in big old barrels. And my concern is that when they stand up this equivalency that may not include some understanding of where that model does work and where it doesn't, and we've talked about this on the show, is where new states replicate old mistakes instead of looking at what works and what doesn't work. The other thing that concerns me, because I am wearing a tinfoil hat today.
Just today?
Yeah, well, the rest of the time it's boxer shorts. But the thing that concerns me is, are there any potential conflicts of interest, given that we've seen in regulated markets that alcohol consumption tends to go down? You're talking about some pretty entrenched moneyed interests, both on the regulatory side and the manufacturing side with alcohol, that would like to continue to see alcohol in pole position for what Americans use for recreational fun. And so I just, and you see this revolving door between regulators and private industry, so that I would imagine that some of the people who regulate alcohol in that state have also been in the adult beverage business, separate from just being regulators. And so that revolving door, that feels a little too chummy for me at first glance. I would hope to have somebody who hadn't had their interests convoluted by the existing alcohol industry in that state. And again, because it's an agricultural product in a way that adult beverages aren't, even wine, I think they're going to miss out on a lot of the nuance that they could implement if they brought in people who were farmers or who had substantial cannabis experience, regulated and or legacy.
That's interesting.
And or legacy is tough. But I hear you.
I know for a fact that there's liquor companies, liquor distributors, and others that are in this business, and it's because they have infrastructure and know-how, and it's because there's a whole lack of that in our industry, right? And specifically speaking, like, drinks are just complicated to distribute. They're heavy. Mm-hmm. They are taxing on the vehicles that they are operating under, and the people that are distributing with those are like taking on that burden, right? It's you can't have a distribution model without your own trucks. You're going to have to also make whatever relationships that you can out there, and that's just part of the game. That's part of any industry. It's all relationships based. This game, just like any other, is that, and the guys with the money are up the politicians' ass right now. They're making their headway, literally. So it's everyone has to be smart and band together with the people that you have similar values within the system, and pool your money together to also help to fight that fight at the government. It's what time it is in our society. It's pay to play for everybody, essentially, because look what's happening. We are showing that, and maybe it's going to be different with Trump's new administration. Maybe it won't be. Who knows? It's going to be amazing. We have to wait and see. But we know that beyond that, community getting together, banding together is our responsibility as operators. It's our responsibility as stewards. And if we don't do it, someone's doing it. And they're going to eat your lunch, and they're going to take over the dialogue, and you're stuck. So let's not be stuck, guys.
Yum, yum, yum.
And
Love me some lunch.
So being petulant, stomping your feet absolutely allows for that, right? I agree with you, Saman. I just wanted to know what the preferred terroir of Budweiser was, Yarrow.
Horse piss. Well, it's horse piss. Horse piss.
I don't drink Budweiser. When we were in high school, we discovered Red Tail Ale and Sapporo, and so we supported Hopland as well as we supported foreign
China.
beers.
Japan.
Japan.
Sapporo's from Japan, and so we started exploring I would say quality beers really early on. I'm talking 1988, 1987. What I would say is the exception.
That's the year I was born, Yarrow.
That's the year I was born. Yeah, 87.
Yeah. So why am I sitting on your lap instead of
rocking the cradle? Rocking the cradle.
On a white beard, and you can tell me what you want for Christmas. But the thing that I wanted to say though is the exception for me to the beer model is I do believe there is a place for an ice cold Coors Light if you're on a boat fishing.
Was what, like an empty can for a life preserver?
No, I'm saying that beer, even though, no one's going to put it on the top 10 list, if it's ice cold and you're on a body of water, I think there's a place for Coors Light. I'm also not a guy who's just into flannel shirts.
If you're stuck on a boat,
IPAs.
If you're stuck on a boat, bro, and the only thing you have left is Coors Light, I mean, you probably should just be stuck on the boat.
Coors Light is great for fishing on a boat.
Crazy. I think you're stuck on a boat if you're fishing.
Crazy.
You're not stuck. You're living your best life.
Right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Johnny Smash, who says, "Does the Click Commander wear a cape? I assume Nintendo Power Gloves are standard issue to the superhero fit."
Goodness. Oh God.
I
you have a logo?
Yeah, it's just it's
a stream shot.
Triangle with a little man in the boat.
Johnny,
nice.
I love all you, Johnny. You're beautiful. So I love you.
I want all the audience to know that I warned them very clearly that I was on bullshit when I was asked to announce Saman.
Man, I mean, I didn't say any of this. Just remember, I didn't say a fucking word. Just remember this when anyone tries to roast your boy, okay?
Todd Denkin's entire upper half turned red.
He's still red. He's still red right now.
How do you know it was only the upper half?
Yeah.
Oh, she's assuming. She's assuming.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, man.
Gosh.
Man.
Now he's finally a redhead.
Well, speaking.
I was born a redhead. I've been a redhead. You just don't know it because I have no hair. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm a total ginger.
We can tell by your beard, Todd.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pubic hair is still red.
I bet. Oh. And on that, we're going to keep this train rolling. We're going to roll right into America's sweetheart, Miss Jenny Beth Dills. She's over there setting off fire alarms because it's smoking over there. That's right. She's the founder of Kind Cannabis and of Justice Served, a 501c3. That's right. It is none other than Miss Jenny Beth Dills.
Woohoo. was late, but I was still in time for Rico to make a comment before he left early. So welcome, everybody. Happy Tuesday. So the push to legalize recreational marijuana in Pennsylvania is gaining momentum. Advocates, lawmakers, and public health experts say it's time for the state to join the growing list of those embracing cannabis reform. State Representatives Rick Kajewski of Philadelphia and Dan Frankel of Allegheny County are leading the charge, unveiling plans for what they're calling landmark legislation. The bill aims to create a regulated marketplace, generate significant state revenue, and support communities disproportionately impacted by decades of harsh marijuana laws, which we know will never work, by the way. We've learned from public health experts, criminal justice advocates, and other states, this is about moving forward safely and efficiently. Pennsylvania cannot afford to fall further behind, said Representative Krajewski. Among the 24 states that have already legalized recreational cannabis are 5 of Pennsylvania's 6 neighbors, leaving the Keystone State surrounded by change. Polls show bipartisan support for legalization, with Pennsylvania and Governor Josh Shapiro has been vocal in his endorsement. Shapiro has called cannabis a potential cash crop for the state, projecting it could generate to $250 million in revenue within 5 to 6 years. As part of his 2024 budget proposal, the governor suggested a 20% tax on marijuana sales and wants Pennsylvania to be the first state to put its agricultural department in charge of regulating the industry. Representative Frankel says his bill will address the mistakes seen in other states. Okay. Focusing on a strong regulatory framework to prevent lawsuits from out-of-state companies and ensure public health remains a priority. Representative Frankel said, we have a moral obligation to not only legalize marijuana, but also to repair the damage caused by decades of arrest and incarceration. Advocates are also quick to highlight the economic benefit of legalization, particularly in rural areas where farmers could tap into a booming industry. And they say the social benefits, such as reduced incarceration rates and investment in affected communities, are just as critical. We'll fucking see. As conversations continue, Harrisburg lawmakers are working to rally support for the bill, hoping Pennsylvania will soon join the 24 states already benefiting from recreational cannabis legalization. So I guess we'll definitely follow that one through, and I cannot wait to report on how they also fuck up social equity. Hope they don't, but we shall see. Throwing it back to you guys.
You know they're going to screw up social equity.
Of course
they will. It's Pennsylvania.
I wrote this covering of this story, and to be fair, I can't even get through it because I've heard it so many times. Dude, I get it. You're trying to push it through on the merits of restorative justice and reparations and righting wrongs and shit like that. If that's what you intend to do, Pennsylvania, I implore you to not do what other states have done and actually fucking do that.
Yeah, they're not going to do that. But I think also, too, in this article, Jenny Beth, it talked about them saying how cannabis is such a cash cow for municipalities to obtain needed revenues.
Well,
this is the same state.
It's passed anywhere else.
Exactly.
This is the same state that taxed video games and bars at 37%. We have talked about how they have trumpeted the estimated tax windfall as if it's going to be a huge win for the state, and we all know it's going to be a huge win for the trap. And so they're already failing out of the gate because they have a model that doesn't work with taxes that won't be sustainable on an industry that doesn't need to have the boot on it of those tax models. And they are suggesting, again, like all these other municipalities, that these taxes are going to go to all these noble causes and every orphan is going to have a new set of tennis shoes. It's terrible. It's terrible. And it's not going to make any sense. And what's going to happen? We're going to be covering it like we covered yesterday, where people are going to drive to another state nearby that has less taxes to get their regulated cannabis, or they're just going to call the plug. And so here we go, yet again, replicated mistakes, again, that we know aren't going to work. And we'll be here a year from now saying, I told you so.
So I want to talk about the fact that they're going to be the first state to have their Department of Agriculture oversee it.
I'll be fine with that. I think that's the right governmental branch to oversee that anyway, is the Department of Agriculture, or at least a health department. I'm in total. All I see is heads nodding, you guys.
An opinion? Saman.
Yeah.
I have no opinion. I didn't even hear what the fuck's going down. I had to go, bust a move.
Well, Pennsylvania's pushing forward for legalization, and they're going to be the first state to have their Department of Agriculture as the regulating body.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, cool. Well, you know, Pennsylvania has some shitty rules that nobody else has to follow, but some, you know, I think just generally their whole entire distribution network for all of these products like alcohol and cigarettes and all that stuff is it's a little outdated. But yeah, you know, I mean, that's how it works in places that have been, you know, mired by like these controlling factions of like bloodsuckers, you know, let it be free.
Yeah, Nevada depended on the Department of Agriculture in the very early days when they were setting rules for pesticides, and ended up using crop group 19, which had 86 pesticides on it, and from workshopping and industry folks, whittled it down to about 26.
Interesting.
Yeah, but Department of Agriculture, I think you're right, Jason. I think they're a good organization to regulate cannabis.
Yeah, I'm all for
really
that. I am all the way for that. And shout out to Honky Bong in the chat who says R.I.P. Peanut and the raccoon Fred. You guys.
I just want to also say shout out to one of the dispensaries dispensing products, smoke shop that's opening up here to Heal in Forest Lake, Minnesota. I just want to give them a big shout out while we're here. They're doing some good work and they're opening up. So if anybody needs access to, you know, hemp products such as Parody Gummy,
yes,
you can be able to check it out in Michigan or Minnesota.
Minnesota. You know,
and you'll be able to get that shit in Nashville, North Carolina soon too.
That's right. As soon as they respond to their text message.
I know.
Yeah.
Really small soda.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? You know what's funny, Todd, is that's how my teacher in elementary school taught me to remember the state of Minnesota, is because they drew it out and they're like, if you look at it, it looks like a soda, but with someone's hand gripped around it, and then they drew a straw on the top, and they're like, you'll never forget it now. Minnesota.
Shout out to your elementary school teacher.
Yeah, shout out to elementary school teachers.
Yeah, and if you're in Miami this weekend for a Terp Basil or a Basil, make sure to check out the Terp Genie.
Yes,
with all the terps for you.
All the terps, lots of terps going down at Terp Basil. If you're out there this weekend during Art Basel, make sure you go and say hello to Saman, because he's going to be out there most definitely.
Definitely come check us out.
Yes, all you got to do out there.
Commander.
Yeah, find the Click Commander. Follow your nose.
Hombres. I'll have some Sleepy Joes and some Bad Hombres on me. Come get a free pack on the house and check it out.
I love it. I love this. I love this, you guys.
Click Commander's going to be busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Saying hello again. He's going to have a lot of us.
No, that is not what's going to happen. Saman is the focused of a focused
Saman is
mindset.
never saying hello again. He's like, no. I'm not even talking anymore.
Well, thank you all. Thank you all for joining us and getting high at 9 with us every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific and high noon on the East Coast. Big thank yous to our audience and supporters for tuning in daily and listening to the insanity that is the developing cannabis industry. Yes, we're almost at 5,000 subscribers, so please share this show with your friends. Help us push us over the top. And huge thank you to Catalyst for helping us keep the lights on over here, and thank you to our correspondents for being absolutely amazing. Thank you to Cannabis Sativa L for giving us a reason to do this every day, and thank you to Cloud Media Partners, Adam out there in the metaverse turning up. And thank you all for tuning in to High at 9 News with us. We are America's #1 daily cannabis news show.